Where did the Jedi truly begin? Was there a moment, a place, a spark, where the light first ignited against the darkness? Long before the Jedi Temple rose over Coruscant's skyline, before lightsabers hummed in defense of peace and justice, before even the galaxy knew the name Jedi, there was Tython, located deep in the treacherous deep core, at coordinates L10. The planet of Tython was shrouded in legend and cloaked in dangerous hyperlanes that shifted unpredictably over millennia. Verdant and uninhabited, Tython was a world of extremes. Snow-capped polar regions like the meridional ice cap, deep forests teeming with birds, butterflies and beasts, and force-rich mountains that seemed to pulse with the energy of the galaxy itself. But Tython was not just a remote world. It was sacred, so steeped in the Force that its very surface responded to the emotional balance of its inhabitants. Light or dark, Tython reflected both. Who were the first to listen to the Force on Tython? And why did they fear both light and dark in equal measure? In the Legends timeline, as first introduced in the Power of the Jedi sourcebook, Tython was the cradle of the Jedi Order, the ancient forerunner to the Jedi. Around 36,453 BBY, a group of philosophers and monks from across the galaxy were drawn to Tython by a mysterious call in the Force. Here, they did not see the Force as something to be divided into good and evil, but something to be balanced. Ashla, the light, Bogan, the dark. These were the names they gave to Tython's twin moons, and the spiritual forces they represented. The Jedi built temples across the surface of Tython, 10 in all, each devoted to different aspects of the Force. Among them were the Temple of Knowledge, the Temple of Healing, and the Temple of Balance. The central temple, known as Kaleth, stood atop a Force nexus and served as the heart of the Jedi culture. But with such immense energy came instability. Those who fell too far toward Bogan were exiled to the moon of Bogan itself to meditate and restore their balance. Eventually, a great schism fractured the Jedi Order. The followers of Bogan, later known as the Legions of Lettow, would go on to form the first dark side cults, setting in motion a cycle of conflict that would shape the galaxy forever. If Tython was once the beating heart of the Force, how did it vanish from galactic memory? Despite its pivotal role in shaping galactic history, Tython gradually faded into obscurity. The chaotic nature of the deep core hyperlanes made travel perilous, and eventually Tython became inaccessible. As new worlds rose, Coruscant, Ossus, Ilum, the ancient planet of balance was abandoned. In time, it was reduced to myth. Jedi records became fragmented. Even within the sacred Jedi texts, Tython was spoken of in riddles and poetry, rather than hard history. Some scholars even confused it with Acto, the planet Luke Skywalker would later identify as the site of the first Jedi Temple. But echoes of Tython lingered. Jedi pendants bore its name. Jedda's city, Tythoni Square, kept the legacy alive in stone. And in the High Republic era, when Jedi Master Elzar Mann sought clarity in a Force vision, it was to Tython's moon Ashla that he travelled to for guidance. Even centuries later, Jedi across the stars still felt the gravitational pull of this long-lost world. Was the Empire afraid of what lay buried on Tython, and did Darth Vader find what he was searching for? Tython emerged again during the Galactic Civil War. In 3 ABY, the rogue archaeologist Dr. Chelly Afra lured Darth Vader to the Martyrium of Frozen Tears, a force-rich underground shrine carved into the meridional ice cap and rumoured to date back to the earliest Jedi cults. Inside, Vader was ambushed by a trap laid by Afra, one powered by kyberite crystal and ancient force technology. By then, Tython had become a ghost in the Empire's archives, known only through whispers, lost coordinates, and scavenged lists of ruined Jedi sites. One such list made it into the hands of Luke Skywalker, giving him a clue that the Jedi's legacy stretched far beyond what Yoda and Obi-Wan had ever told him. What did the Force reveal to Grogu on Tython, and who answered the call? In 9 ABY, the mysterious Force-sensitive child known as Grogu was brought to Tython by Din Djarin, the Mandalorian, on the advice of Ahsoka Tano. Atop a mountain sat the ruined remains of an ancient Jedi temple, its focal point a seeing stone, an artifact designed to channel the Force and send out a beacon across the galaxy. When Grogu entered his meditative trance upon the stone, the Force surged outward in a blue ring of energy. Somewhere, someone answered the call. But danger followed quickly. Moff Gideon's forces descended, destroying the Razor Crest and abducting Grogu. The mountain's ancient power had not gone unnoticed. The Jedi were no longer forgotten, and neither was Tython. Why did Luke return to Tython, and what vision awaited him there? In 21 ABY, long after he had trained Leia and began the work of rebuilding the Jedi Order, Luke Skywalker returned to Tython. Standing once again at the Seeing Stone, he meditated and received a vision of himself battling dark wraiths on a Sith world of Exegol. At the brink of defeat, he was saved by the Force ghost of his father, Anakin Skywalker. Even decades after its rediscovery, Tython remained a nexus of memory, destiny, and power, a place where the Force speaks more clearly than anywhere else in the galaxy. Was Tython truly the birthplace of the Jedi, or simply one chapter in a much longer story? Though canon sources now suggest the first Jedi Temple was on Ahch-To, Tython's influence runs deeper. It is not merely a physical place, it is a spiritual fulcrum, a symbol of the Jedi's deepest truths, that light and dark are ever intertwined, and that balance is the key to mastery. From the Jedi who first called it home, to Grogu's silent meditation, to Luke Skywalker's vision of darkness and redemption, Tython stands as the beating heart of the Force's legacy. But what do you think? Were the original Jedi wrong to banish those who felt the darkness to the moon of Bogan? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and as always, like, subscribe, and join us next week for another deep dive into the archives. Thanks for watching.